Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome on in to episode 7. It's I, Shade Dogfire, one of the co-hosts here today with, as they leave me hanging.
Okay, I was waiting for Damien. Hi, I'm Motomore.
I'm Damien. Sorry.
I am Motomore, and just as Shade switched the screens, I had a really sharp cramp, and that's why I made that weird noise.
I was honestly in the middle of taking a drink. I thought Shade was going to talk longer.
God damn it.
No, I was like stretching my leg, and I got a sharp cramp. And I'm like, no good.
Fun fact, Mora, that sound I'm pretty sure you made probably didn't even make it into the podcast because the opening music doesn't have the Discord communication linked to it.
Well, I was honestly expressing it more towards you two.
Oh, okay. I was like, none of them heard this. They don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No. I figured. Because it was after you said go, after you said you were going to change it. And then that's when I stretched. But I'm good.
Anyway.
Yes, anyway.
Today's topic, though, we're going to be talking about jobs.
They're all scams, anyway.
Oh, dear God.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell me I'm wrong.
I guess. Anyway. Mainly, job experiences, past stories, stuff like that.
I feel like this might be a bit of a reversal of last week.
How so?
Well, the reason why I say that is that last week we talked about VTubers, yeah?
Right.
Shade and I have a lot of experience in VTubers because Shade's a VTuber, I'm a former VTuber.
Are you going to tell me I haven't had a job?
No, I mean, Damien's probably had more jobs.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck?
I've had my fair share, yes.
Right, because honestly, as far as I know, Shade, I only know that you've had 2 jobs.
Technically, I've had 3.
3, okay.
Yeah, one of them is the one that I don't think I've talked about too often is one of the ones I'll probably bring up today.
No, because I only know 2.
Yeah, I only know the 2 as well. And yes, I've had my fair share of jobs, so I probably bring a few more interesting and cringy stories to the table, I'm sure.
Right. I have stories of jobs of my parents because I used to visit my parents' jobs a lot.
Right.
I was younger. And I've also had a few jobs. A few quick jobs, though. I think in total I've had this is probably my current one's probably my 7th or so job.
Right.
It's not too bad.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah,
some of them I liked, some of them I hated.
I see.
I mean, that's generally how it goes. Some you like and some you hate.
Yeah.
Some you walk out on really quickly.
Oh, that's a Subway for me, man.
That was Costco for me.
Oh, you worked at Costco, really?
Yep.
What made you leave?
Some bad workplace.
I
mean, despite what a lot of people say about it being a good place to work, it is not. It is an incredibly stressful work environment, especially story time, I suppose, considering this is the theme of everything.
Right.
I started there. This was back, I want to say 2015. And things were fine for a while, but there was this one lady there. She had been there since the day the place opened up here, which was back in the 90s.
Right.
So she was so ingrained in the place that there was nothing no one knew could do about her. Eventually, she started treating the new staff like they were slaves, and she was just a right bitch.
Right.
Eventually, I stood up to her, and then she started treating me like this was I want to say about 6-ish, 7 months into my job. And so I stood up to her, and she started treating me like shit. Started, trying to treat me like a quick garbage. So I went to management about her.
Right.
Yeah, that turned out to be not a good idea.
Oh, she did, because they probably liked her too much since she was there from the start.
No. Word got back to her that I went to management, and things got worse.
Oh.
Turns out she was sleeping with the head manager.
Ha! Welp.
I ended up walking out 2 days later. I showed up for my
Nice.
shift, started getting treated like garbage by her, and then I just said, drop my stuff. See ya.
Nice.
And I was one of the few early morning stalkers, because I was there. My job started at what time was it? It was like 4 a.m.
Right.
and I was usually gone by noon. So yeah, it was a very toxic work environment.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it.
Sometimes I regret it because the pay was great, but
sometimes even then it's still not worth it.
no, it's not worth the stress sometimes.
No.
Right.
Like
Yes.
that's kind of similar to how I left Subway. I'm not sure if I've ever talked too much about my time at Subway, just that I worked there briefly.
No, you have not.
Yeah, you have not.
I quit after a week and a half. I should have left earlier, but my dumbass still left. Oh, so stayed for a bit. You know, when I should have, looking back, when I knew it was like, I should have not came in.
Yeah.
The guy, my training day, right?
Right.
I was at a Subway with, it was me, the manager, and the guy that was there. Red flag number one, I'm noticing right now, there was only ever one person working the store.
Oh.
And that's it. Red flag number two, a little into my training, I'm using massive quotation marks when I say training.
Quote unquote training. Gotcha.
Yeah. I was only taught how to make a sandwich by looking at the little cheat sheet they tape to the the overhang. You know how you go into Subway, they have like a glass divider.
Right.
Yeah.
On the other end of the glass divider, there's a laminated little piece of paper. That's your cheat sheet.
Right.
On how to put it into the sandwich.
Yeah, we got one of those on our line at work.
Yeah. But anyway, a little bit into my quote unquote training, the guy who was there had to leave and like he couldn't stay. And then the manager, you would think the manager would be like, I'm not gonna let the guy in training here by himself. A normal manager would. This one was like, oh, I gotta leave too.
I'm sorry, what?
And then the guy who was supposed to come in, because the guy had to leave early, right?
Right.
He had to leave early because of a family thing. And then the manager left because, I don't know, the mothership was calling him.
Okay.
And I was told that the guy that was supposed to come in later was going to be half an hour late. And so,
God.
while not being paid, I wasn't paid on the training day.
Wait,
I stood there like a dope, staring off into space, watching over the subway that I barely knew what to do in.
Wait. You weren't being paid?
No, not on the training.
That makes
That sounds illegal.
I guess for like, do they pay? Nobody pay you on fast food jobs?
Yes.
For
Anywhere I've worked.
Well,
Yeah.
Granted, I'll admit I've worked in some better establishments.
But yeah,
Anybody I know of who's worked in places like Subway or Mickey D's, I've always been paid on their training.
yeah.
And here's the thing: this is America, where corporations like to take advantage of people.
Well, like, I know it's not exactly fast food, but even when I worked at Walmart training day, you got a paycheck for that too.
That's weird.
Yeah, like the day you came in for your actual like orientation meeting, which was you're already hired kind of thing. They're like, okay, here you go. Here's your, you're gonna get paid
Right.
for these amount of hours for being here for this training. And
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe I was scammed.
Probably sounds like it.
That sounds like they saw you coming a mile away there, Moda. Hate to say it.
I mean, I should have known because that's happened to me before. But anyway, so yeah. After that, remember how I said my quote unquote training?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I say that because they literally only taught me to cut the bread and look at the cheat sheet to see what to put on the sandwiches.
Okay.
Because when a guy came in and asked for a salad, I was completely lost.
Oh, no.
And I convinced him to take a sandwich instead. And then thankfully the guy came in and made the salads. I should have just left and never came back.
Oh, 100%.
The moment they left you there by yourself,
yeah,
I would have just left that store completely.
Me, because I'm me and I sometimes don't catch on to things as quickly as others. I came back anyway, and I was running the store on my own.
Oh.
Yeah,
that sounds bullshit.
That sounds like... Ugh.
There was one time, this is when, going back, like thinking back on it now, I definitely, because when was this? At least 3 years ago. I should have not come in because it was on my day off, right?
Right.
And I was out of town because I was at a party with my parents. It was like my mom's friend doing a thing. I don't know.
Right.
And he called me, the boss guy. He called me and he was like, "Hey, I need you to come in and close." And I go, "I'm out of town." And then the boss yells through the phone and says, "You said you were available to work anytime, any day, and I need you now, so come in." And I even told my parents. My parents were like, "Yep, sounds good." And we straight up left the party.
We're told my boss to shove it.
Now I would have been like, "All right, I'll come in, click," and then never show up.
Yeah, wow. Just because you say any day, any time when they hire you, does not mean any day, any time.
How
at their convenience.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think I was 19 at the time. So I was still fresh out of the school system thinking like, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing." You don't.
No, you don't. The thing about schools, and I've picked that up over the 22 years since I've been in high school, is they don't really teach you shit.
No,
for how to survive in the world.
No, they don't.
They hand you basic shit training that leaves you going, okay, I'm gonna need all this, and then you use absolutely none of it once you're done school.
Because I'm here working at Subway being like, "Let me figure out the diameter of this here meatball that's been sitting in this meat juice for the past 3 days."
Listen, that's important information.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It obviously is. But anyway, like I finished the first week, I came in and closed. Oh, he didn't even come into the store to show me how to close. He talked me into how to close over the phone.
I'm sorry, what?
He straight up called the store and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna teach you how to close now." I'm like, "Huh?" Then I came in next week, and
you went back.
Yeah, you went back, Moda.
Like I said, sometimes I have a little trouble picking up on stuff. Now that it's happened to me, I know exactly what to look out for. Because nobody was telling me that it was weird. Like, no one was saying it was weird, so I'm like, I guess this is just normal for Subway.
Yeah, okay. I guess like if everyone is acting like it's normal, then I suppose it'd be very confusing.
Like I
but
said,
still, that's bullshit. Fuck them.
Like I said, when I told my parents that I had to go back, they're like, "Okay, sounds good," and I'm like, well, "Okay, sounds good."
Yeah, I mean, your parents doing that just means they weren't either paying attention or just figured, okay, he's working. Let's keep him working at this shit place.
It's probably the second one. Not gonna lie. Oh, I forgot important context. Before I started working at Subway, I applied for Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's eat fresh?
What Jimmy?
Wait, no,
exactly. It's a eat fresh. No, it's a Ficky Fresh.
Yeah, whatever.
Eat fresh is Subway, which is a lie.
Oh fuck!
Oh no,
that's a lie. Last time I ate at a Subway, let's just say I'm pretty sure that meat wasn't supposed to be green.
Let me guess, you had the roast beef?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. And the Subway, the roast beef in mine was also green. Yeah. And the soup, I could bounce a quarter off the soup. Let's just say that.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's a lovely thick skin on that soup.
Yup. But anyway, I applied at Jimmy John's, and after they give you the interview, when they decide to hire you, fun fact, if they decide to hire you at a Jimmy John's, they'll give you a sandwich test. You don't have to pass it. You just have to know some of them, because you're going to learn the sandwiches on the job.
Right.
It's almost like an assessment test to see how well you remember them. Because like they give you the menu and you're like, remember the sandwiches, and we'll test you. Yeah, they never called me back, so I just assumed they gave me the menu to tell me to fuck off. And then that's why I applied at Subway.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
But no, and then it was on a Friday, I think it was. It was on my last day before the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking in the plaza trying to prolong the amount of time that I had before going into Subway.
Right.
And I just happened... Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry, I'm misremembering wrong. What happened was I told him in my second week, halfway through, yeah, I'm leaving. And he was upset about it, obviously, because I told him on a Wednesday, and I told him my last day was that Friday. So I gave him a 2-day notice.
I mean that's fine with how kind of experience there. Fuck them. I would have left without a notice.
Well, at least around here.
Oh, your can has rules against that, don't they?
No, actually, they don't. No, I can walk out if I damn well please. It just means I can't use them as a reference anymore. But technically, from what I have been told, is you want to give a week per every year you've been there.
That's weird.
No.
Over here, it's generally just a 2-week notice.
That's more courtesy than anything.
But generally, it's bad manners to give anything less than 2 weeks.
Right.
But there's no real rules against it.
But yeah, no, I started on a Wednesday of 1 week. I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2-day notice. And then on Friday, my last day, I was prolonging it. And I just happened to walk by the Jimmy John's where the general manager and the area manager were coming out. And the general manager looked at me and he goes, "Hey, you're Motobor, right?" I didn't put in my actual name, but no. He goes, "You're Motobor, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You still want that job?" I'm like, "Yes." "When can you start?" "Monday." "Cool. See you Monday." And like that, I got the Jimmy John's job.
Now that's perfect timing. Holy cow.
And then I stayed there for almost 2 years. And
Wow.
I actually got assistant manager.
Nice.
Nice.
But then I had to move. So, but yeah, no, that's how I worked at Jimmy John's. One of my favorite places I worked at.
Okay, I'll be honest. That first day I would have actually just flipped the sign to close and walked out.
Yeah, I would have done that. Actually, I wouldn't have even flipped the sign. I would have just walked out.
Wow, that's fair.
Yeah, no.
Well, it sounds like at least it worked out.
No one in, guys. There's nobody here. Till's open.
Now I know a lot better.
I mean, it does sound like something good came out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I said I should have known better because of my experience at the frozen yogurt place, which I also don't think I've told you two about.
No.
No, I don't think so.
I used to work at a frozen yogurt place called TCBY, the country's best yogurt.
Right.
Never heard of it.
It's actually not in the Midwest, I don't think.
It's also probably not up here in Canada either.
Yeah. Shade, do you have a place called Minchie's?
Minchie's. Fuck. You're going to ask me names of places, Moda?
It's a self-serve frozen yogurt place.
Minchie's Cafe, I'm assuming is what it's called?
No, just Minchie's.
Just Minchie's? Okay, that's something else then. Minchie's. Oh, apparently there are some around here. Oh, wait, no, that's Minchie's Cafe. Never mind.
Okay, well, never mind. It's a self-serve frozen yogurt place.
Oh, there's also Sushi Minchie's and Buenos Minchie's and
Weird.
Maybe I'm spelling Minchie's wrong. How am I supposed to be spelling this, Moda?
Okay, hang on. Let me look it up.
What was doing that?
It's a self-serve frozen yogurt place.
Gotcha. I got it.
And when
I'm gone.
Go on. Oh, no.
I was going to give you time to search that really fast because I wanted to bring something up because I actually have a question for Damien for something we were talking about a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, just because this goes back to something we'll end up passing and leaving behind.
Oh, okay. No, you go first then.
So, quick question: Is there still something about reasonable amount of notice you have to give in Canada?
Not that I'm aware of.
The only reason I'm asking is because I remember I saw something like an article from this thing, and I remember there was something in. Hold on, let me see if I can find it again. I just wanted to know if it's still still something or it's bullshit. Let's see here. It doesn't necessarily have to be 2 weeks. It just says it has to be reasonable. And it says, let's see.
I've never seen this before.
Employers can sue employees for failing to give reasonable notice of resignation.
Huh, that's news to me.
I didn't know if that was an actual thing. I remember seeing it at one point, so that's why when you mentioned it earlier, I thought maybe it was like an actual thing.
I mean, it very well could be, but the question is it worth it to the employer to sue the employee?
Oh yeah, no, obviously it depends on the situation, on how bad that them leaving affects things. I was just kind of curious if that was an actual thing. So when you said there wasn't, I was like confused, like, okay, maybe it's not.
Interesting.
But sorry, Moto, I just wanted to make sure I just wanted to get that cleared up before we left it.
Right. No, I'm reading through it right now too.
Yeah, I'm skimming over this too. This is interesting, actually. Granted, I've never heard of an employment law, but
you're right.
You learn something new every day.
I don't know if this is an official thing. I just know it's I've never heard of this. I don't know if it's a Canada thing or I have no idea what the hell this is.
This is the first I'm actually hearing of this. So, yeah. I mean, it very possible. It could be a thing.
Okay. I was just curious. I didn't know if maybe you heard something about it or not. Or if it was like just like it's there but not really followed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that it's there and just not followed. Because I mean, it would have to be, I would assume, well worth the employer's time and the money they'd have to spend to sue the employee for walking out on them.
Right. It's probably, I guess it's most likely saved more for something like they leave and it's like a very important role.
My best bet is it's just for contract work, I would assume. Like a contract type that you can't break a contract, I would assume.
Right.
That like again, I'm no lawyer, so I have no idea.
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That is interesting to learn, though.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing.
I had to give this a more in-depth read later.
Yeah, I mean, if you figure it out, let us know. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, continue, Mona. Sorry about that. Like I said, I just wanted to hit that before we moved away, and I completely forgot about it.
Right, no, fair. Now, basically, this one's a lot shorter. My training period for this self-serve frozen yogurt place is looking back, I should have just ran. The training period was 2 days a week for 2 months.
Okay.
And my training pay was whatever was in the tip jar and a free cup of yogurt at the end. And I was what? And they told me to work the closing shift too.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
This sounds so much bullshit.
No, it's all real. I swear.
No, I believe you, Mona. Trust me.
I believe you.
Oh, and I also got yelled at one point.
Like the amount
guy,
of sorry,
the guy there at one point got sick, so he couldn't train me. At least he was there to train me at the very least.
Right.
I wasn't left on my own. But so yeah, he got sick, so I couldn't come in to train. And then when he got better, I got sick. So I gave him 2-hour notice that I'm like, hey, I'm sick, I can't come in. And then he yelled at me. Oh, I should also mention that he told me one of my training days is the busiest day of the week. It was the fill your cup up for $5.
That sounds like one of the places that we have around here that had something similar like that.
Right.
Different name though.
Okay. But no, he yelled at me over the phone. He's like, you can't do this to me. It's the busiest night of the week. If you don't come in, you're fired. And I went, okay. And I hung up the phone and I just went back to bed.
I would have done the same damn thing.
Yeah.
I took some NyQuil. I went to bed, woke up better, got on the bus, walked right in, gave him back the shirt, shook his hand, walked out.
Nice.
Oh, you shook his hand. I wouldn't have even done that.
I didn't even say a word. I'm like, here you go, shake hand, bye. And I never went back there again.
Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't have either. Wow. The audacity of some people.
Right. And the kicker, when I asked the teenager working there for the application, he looked me dead in the eye and said, you don't want to work here. But I still went and applied.
Oh, I'm not going to lie.
Foolish idea.
I have actually managed to get a couple of people to quit at my current place of employment.
Nice.
When they ask for my opinions on the place, I just look at them and said, run. Don't walk. Run.
Get yourself another job.
And two of them actually have. One of them, she drives a frickin' limo now.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, and then she gets when she's driving limo, she's making $25 an hour. When she's standing there looking dapper in her suit, she's making $15.
She just for standing there.
Just for standing there.
Nice.
So I'm like, damn! I didn't think she'd actually do it.
I mean, they made a good choice, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
That's real cool.
And the only downside of being a chauffeur is you need a special license up here. And
Right. I think that's the same here too.
yeah, I'm not sure how difficult it is to get that special license. I'm not sure what classification it is up here off the top of my head.
Right.
If it's just a specific classification, then it's probably just a slightly different test.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a slightly different written test and a slightly different driving test using a vehicle meant for what you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Can you imagine trying to parallel arc a fucking limo?
Listen, I'll be honest. I never did the parallel parking test. My place that I got my license was a fucking, what is it called? 3.4 turn or something like that? Or the Pizza Man Park or something? What was the nickname for it?
Pizza Man Park.
It's something. You back up into the parking space. That's it.
I've had my license since 2001. I can count on one hand how many times I've parallel parked.
2.
About, yeah. But hey, a good friend of mine, I don't know if she's in chat or not, but don't think so. So I'll tell this story.
Okay.
But she got her license in quite the roundabout way. She had her learners when she lived in British Columbia.
Okay.
Just her learners. She moved to Alberta. Well, I guess down there it's called the DMV. We don't exactly have a similar naming up here. But
Right.
So the DMV screwed up somewheres. And she got, they gave her driver's license instead of her learner's permit.
Oh no.
Yeah. So never had to take the test.
Damn.
Never had to take the road test. And when she moved back to BC, they looked at that and went, oh, okay. And that was at least 10 years ago.
Damn.
Oh man, that's wild.
Also,
Hilarious though.
I like how you checked to see if they were here when this is recorded. So regardless, they're gonna know you told this story.
Oh,
Yeah.
True.
I'm like, let's see if they're here so I can tell this story. Let me tell you.
I was going to ask if it was okay to tell the story.
Just straight up asked.
Okay. So you just did it anyway. Gotcha.
I did it anyway.
Basically, you're like, I was gonna ask permission. If I was told no, I would still none.
Well, if I was told no, then I wouldn't have, but she's not here, so.
God. All right.
That's hilarious. So.
God damn it. I was just like, let's see if she's here. Nope. All right, I'm gonna tell this story as if this is gonna be secret.
The irony is, I did tell her to come. We were recording live, so.
Since they're lost, they missed the chance to tell you no. God damn it.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, no, I think I would have left both of those jobs, and I'm a very tolerant person with shit at work.
I'm also very tolerant. Sometimes a little too much. So, but again,
I'm very tolerant, and I would have walked out on that.
Again, now that I know better, I know how to avoid it.
Right.
That's why when I was working my last job at the bakery, it was good at first, and then it quickly started falling at the seams. And then I was like, okay, I want to go. It also helped that I was sick of food service.
I understand.
Yeah, I get that.
God, I've never worked it.
As someone in the food service, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I
What were you gonna say, Shane?
just said, thank God I never worked that.
Yeah, it's not great.
I think all mine
it's
was
really
involved
not.
with selling things, except for my recent job.
Right. What's the percentage? I think it was. I remember in my culinary textbook, there was a percentage of people who have worked food service jobs at one point in their life in the U.S.
Probably pretty high.
Percentage of.
Whether or not they stayed in that job is a different story, but
Yeah, just at some point in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of them I really enjoyed, though.
Yeah. And then you got someone like me who started in the culinary industry, tried to get out, but then got drugged right back in.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think I could do it. I mean, considering I have very long hair, and I don't like having it tied back or anything like that.
Right.
They'll get on you. Put up a hairnet. Oh, yeah, they'd get on you. They'd have to be either in a hairnet or up under your hat, at least at my work.
Yeah.
There's like it's funny because my boss tries to get on me for not wearing a hairnet or a hat. I have because I keep my hair nice and short. Like I use my razor. Like I'm not like skinhead, but military style.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you should be doing this." I'm like, "Dude, if you find a hair in the soup or the food, it ain't gonna be mine."
Right.
Because, like, my hair, well, for one, I have really great hair, so I'm pretty damn sure that it's never going to fall out. I don't have to worry about that, knocking on wood.
Right.
I think there was some humble bragging going on right there. I have some really great hair. It's never coming out. God damn it. It's perfect.
Well, I mean, everybody bugs me about cutting my hair, letting it grow, not letting it grow, because I have very wonderful, beautiful curls, according to some people.
Ah, same.
Right. Same.
And I hate it with a passion. So I keep my hair as short as possible.
I can't do
that's
it.
fair.
I can't keep my hair short. Can't do it.
Fun fact about me, I actually hate myself with short hair. And I didn't really realize that for the longest time. That I would actually like myself a little less with short hair. But now that I'm growing out my hair and I have a lot longer, my hair is the longest that it's been in my entire life. I'm really enjoying it.
Nice.
I think you've still got a ways to go before your hair as long as mine was back in high school. So
go on.
No. I was just saying, like I said, I always just had my hair cut short because that's how my parents liked it.
Right. So this is your kind of way of rebelling a little bit.
Not really. Just me saying that. Me constantly fighting back on the haircut.
Rebelling.
Okay, yes, rebelling then, I guess.
Rebelling in your own way.
There was actually at one point where I would extort money out of my parents to make me get a haircut.
Oh my god.
Because I did not want to get a haircut so badly that I would tell them that they would have to pay me.
Well, whatever works,
eventually,
I suppose.
Yeah. Eventually, I just kept fighting it, and they gave up. I was so happy when I was able to pull it up in a ponytail.
See, quick question.
Yo.
For this one's towards Damien.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe your hair might have been longer than my hair?
Oh, definitely. Where's your hair?
Let's see. I mean, well, I'm talking more like around that same time. I think it was at least mostly to the middle of my back.
Oh yeah, mine was about that long.
Okay, so about the same.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, and then one day I got it cut because I listened and got my hair cut for the school photo, and I haven't been able to let it grow past my ears since.
Yeah, I'll never cut my hair again. I mean, okay, I'll trim it up and all that, but cutting it short, I can't do it.
I need to trim mine.
All right, but let's get back to jobs.
Okay.
I think it's your turn now, Shade, to share a
My
story.
turn?
Yeah,
All right.
your turn.
So I might as well. I don't have too much in terms of the first job, so I'll probably mix it in with the second one, which obviously are the two. Really, the second one's the big one because that's obviously the place I worked for the longest. But the first one wasn't technically supposed to be like an actual thing. Technically, it also wasn't. But I'll explain. So this was still in junior high, I think I was at, which is like 7th, 8th grade. Okay. So my grandfather, we'll say, obviously I call him something different, but had worked at a swap meet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is just where you have a booth and they sell a bunch of things in this outdoor swap meet kind of thing. You know, in this case, they sell jewelry, rings, and all that stuff from a company. But he's like, okay, I'll give you money. He's obviously want to make money so you can buy your own things, right?
Right.
And all you got to do is just stand there and make sure no one steals the rings off the displays at the front of the booth. Granted, this booth is like, it's a box, basically. Yeah, you can see the booth. You can see the front of the place at all times. It's a small place. You're always sitting there. It's just more just if they're talking to another customer, make sure someone else isn't ripping the thing off the display and running. And so anyway, so that was what I was supposed to do, right? That then turned into me watching the rings, cleaning the rings, doing some dealing with some of the organization of the rings stock, helping all the setup, and then eventually that turned into they got so busy with a customer. How have this person try to talk to this customer, deal with them while we're on this, while we deal with this over here, and then that eventually turned into his boss going, you know what, I'll pay you. So then basically it was like a Friday Saturday deal, unless I'm mixing Sunday Saturdays are up. Friday Saturday kind of deal. So every week, or Friday Saturday, right? And so like I think it would be like every week I would make about $400 just working in the little ring booth. But my main story I can bring up actually there's a couple. I'll start with the small one, right? The small one is I actually ended up using the name Shade during this job, by the way.
Oh, really?
I did. Now, that's because I hated the way all these people were pronouncing my actual name. Kept adding some weird bullshit to the end of it that I didn't understand because there's nothing on my actual name that required some weird high pitch increase in noise. I don't know what it was about. But so I got it. I ended up using Shade. Now, of course, this was after an incident happened because at the time we didn't wear like badges, right? Like nothing that showed that we were employees. Technically, this wasn't an official badge anyway. But a lot of the swap meet people had them because a lot of them talk to each other. So like, oh yeah, we'll make a badge. Why not have your name on it? Stuff like that, right?
Right.
So the reason why we also got this badge was that at one point we were running low on supply of rings, and a customer was wanting a specific ring. We had it on display, but we didn't have any in our boxes that were underneath the counter. Because it was just a wooden, like, it was honestly kind of like just these wood things made with little cubby holes underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, okay, technically we have two different booths. We have the one we were working at. It was me, my grandpa, and grandma, and we were all working that booth. Our boss worked on the other side in the very first row of this entire outdoor swap meet. So I got sent over there because obviously I'm really young, and I can get there. Guy can squeeze through all these people really fast, get there and back really fast. Customer doesn't have to wait long, right?
Right.
So my grandfather calls and lets them know I'm coming. So I head over there, and they have all this stuff ready. They've given me like 2 boxes of more rings for stock, including the rings that they wanted, and then two of these like necklace displays that they figured we could use.
Right.
So I'm standing there, I talk to my boss. I grab the things. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I walk out, right?
Right.
Halfway to leaving the main aisle to go in between the because there's little like areas behind the booths where you can like walk between everything and all that, and goes through all the different booths and all that stuff. I get yelled. Right. Someone yells out for me to stop, and I turn around and it's a security guard.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And so I get stopped by the security guard that asks me, "What am I doing with all this stuff?" Right? I'm like, "Oh, I'm just over here grabbing it from the other booth over here. I'm going back to the other booth to help restock and sell a ring to a customer, all that stuff." And of course, I'm a teenager, long hair. They don't believe that. And so, because apparently what ended up happening was the lady that is friends with my boss, that works in the booth across, just saw me walk out of the booth with all this stuff, and they called security on me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Luckily, I really hadn't gone that far. Security was on me really damn quick. So my boss could see me from her booth, and she came over and straightened it all out. But after that, they're like, okay, we're gonna get you a name tag, so that way I at least had some kind of proof. Not that it was very much, and there's a name tag with my name and some weird like cartoonish font.
Right.
People probably still weren't gonna believe that. But at least the security guard knew me at that point now.
Yeah, that's good. At least they knew you by that point.
Yeah.
But
I did
something. Yeah.
I did love working there though. It was really great. Honestly, it was a really good job. Paid really damn well for work. I'm like 15, 16, making $400 a week. I mean, fuck.
Damn, that's nice.
So that was great. But obviously I eventually moved away to another city. I'm still in the same state as where I used to work, right?
Right.
And I had to find the new job, which was obviously good old Walmart.
Ooh,
oh boy,
good old Walmart. Yeah. I've heard stories.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell like just a small smidgen of some of the stories right now, and I'll let you guys continue on. Because there's a bit to unpack with Walmart. Walmart sucks ass. So we'll just kind of start. I guess the story I'll tell right now, and then I'll let you guys continue on with some of the other stories before we go back to it. You just kind of like, I guess, how I got acknowledged as a really great worker, and that was a mistake. So when I worked there, my goal was, all right, I'm going to put 70% of work in this.
Right.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to leave. That will make it so I don't stress out. I can focus on college, get the schoolwork done. I don't got to worry about anything, right? I don't want any extra stress. College is stressful enough as it is. I don't want more stress from work killing my brain.
Of course.
So if I just show up, I do my job, I'm leaving. That's like bare minimum. I'm not going above and beyond or anything like that, right? I won't get noticed. I'll go under the radar. Everything will be great. So I started working there pretty close to Black Friday.
Oh, no. I've heard stories about the American Black Fridays.
Oh, dude, you don't even know.
Luckily, first Black Friday, they're not going to put me on anything challenging. All I was keep the one second.
I think Shane needs to take a drink of water.
I think Shade is dying. Uh-oh.
Give me 1 second.
Hello.
Anyway, so 1 second.
So, Damien.
Anyway, I started working there, and I
okay.
I ended up just basically was put into a job of sorting returns.
Right.
Which is basically anything that's laying on the floor that's left behind by people. People get to the register with their carts full of stuff and go, oh, wait, I can't pay for this.
Oh, boy.
And so, obviously, we got to get that all back at some point, right?
Right.
So, we had a room that was like the money center, like where you go in, you can do your banking stuff or whatever. I don't know. I never dealt with that. I just know it was called the money center. We sent people that dealt with money stuff there. And we just had carts and carts and carts of stuff. And I had to then sort this out into the department the items would go back to. So toys goes into a bunch of, just sort out all the toys to the toy stuff. All the houseware stuff to the housewares. All the furniture stuff to furniture. All that kind of stuff, right? And so apparently I did such a good job, though, that got me acknowledged by my boss.
Oh, no.
And so from that point on, they're like, oh my God, he's really good at this. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is insane. And, and so they ended up, at that point, I became known as the person that can pretty much do the returns, right? That being said, I wasn't technically a returns guy at that time. I started out as an assembler. It's just Black Friday, you don't assemble shit, you do other jobs.
Right.
But I think we'll stop here because, like I said, Walmart's a chapter. So I want at least Damien to be able to tell some stories as well.
Oh, all right. So we're going back to me for another one, huh?
Yeah,
right.
and we'll go to Mulder, and then I can tell another one.
All right. Well, I want to say the place that I've worked at so far the longest was my first job. Now, I had gotten this job because of my grandmother. This place was at one point a family-owned motel.
Okay.
And when it was owned by family, it was a pretty decent place. But after my great uncle got out of it, he went and, the place kind of got owned by a big name chain. You guys might be familiar with it. The Howard Johnson.
I think I've heard of it.
They own a chain of motels, I think, across Canada and the U.S. They may have. I don't know if they still exist. I don't. But the place kind of started going to crap. I started there. I was working in the kitchen up until, I want to say, late 2000 or late 99-ish. And then around, well, yeah, no, wait, hold on. When did I quit there? I quit there in 2005. So, yeah, it was about, 99, 2000-ish. 2001-ish is when I left the kitchen in there. I started off as a dishwasher there because, quick, easy job. I was still in school.
Right.
And, and it was for a 15-year-old, well, 15 to 20-year-old, it was great being the only one of your friends with a job.
Right.
So anyway, eventually the hotel became owned by Howard Johnson, and things kind of went down the drain. And for some reason, they decided, the employees there unionized. They decided to bring in a union. And they did not bring in a very good union.
Oh, no.
Because unions are designed to protect the workers, but this one, for whatever reason, protected the lazy slobs. People that should not have kept their jobs.
Right.
And mid-late 2001, when it came time to do the contract, we went on strike.
Ooh, fun.
This was just before winter. And everybody was adamant they would not leave us outside in the cold. Yeah, that strike ended up going till spring.
Oh. Damn.
We ended up being at the time being the longest running strike where I live. It went almost 9.5 months.
I mean, record breaking, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, after that was all said and done, yeah, yay, pay raises and all that.
Right.
Immediately after, they decided to renovate the motel's restaurant, which, yeah, okay, it was kind of a dive. It was 20 plus years, well, at least 20 years old.
Right.
Well, that was a mistake because that ended up killing business. Because they did this because the strike had already killed business. The renos, not quite the final nail in the coffin yet.
Oh, yet, keyword.
Yet. Oh, trust me, this story goes somewhere, believe me. So eventually I left the kitchen there to go work out in their maintenance department. Much easier job, much better pay. And because I was the guy who was there till 11 o'clock at night, I got to have lots of fun. Once management was all gone, I'd go to an off-market room, I'd kick back and watch TV and have a nap.
Nice.
Now, and that's how that went until about 2004, 2005-ish, when Howard Johnson decided to sell the hotel to this foreign guy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it seemed like a good deal at the time because he gave us all raises when he came in.
Right.
Yeah, the guy was a sexual deviant and a piece of garbage.
Well, then.
And he had high demands. Shortly after he took over, we lost our maintenance manager because he decided, I'm done with this place. I don't need you. I'm retiring. Right. And then our maintenance supervisor decided to quit because he finally got an in on the job he really wanted. So that left 3 of us in maintenance to deal with a couple hundred, I want to say about 150 rooms. Now, this is a motel, so all the rooms are, separated from the main building. It's kind of a horseshoe kind of idea.
Right.
Now, there was an A wing, a C wing, and a B wing. Well, the C wing was our fancy extended stay rooms. Like you could fit like a family of 15 in one of these rooms. Well, there was a water main break in one of those rooms. Flooded all of the upper ones, flooded all of the lower ones.
Right.
So me and the 2 others, we managed to get that under control, but unfortunately the damage was extensive, so we had to tear out all the carpet, all the beds, all the walls, tear out everything. And unfortunately, it was like that for months because we're understaffed. We got other work to do.
Right.
Well, one summer, just before, this was about a week before I quit, he comes to us and goes, I want all 9 of these rooms back up and running in a week. And I looked at him and went, okay, are you bringing in outside help to help us? There's only the three of us. And he's like, no, you three can do it, but I want it done in a week. I looked at my two coworkers, went, all right, sounds like fun. I had a new job the next day. I walked in. I walked in 30 minutes before the start of my shifts. Walked into his office. Him and the general manager of the hotel were there because the guy lives on the property.
Right.
So I walked into the office and it's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Blah, blah, blah. You know, happy-go-lucky. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm great. I'm fine. I'm dandy. Throw my shirt down on his desk. Fuck you. I quit.
Nice.
Now, and that I half regret that because about 2 years later, some of the female staff there sued him for sexual harassment. And a lot of the employees walked out of there with minimum 500,000.
Ooh, just a minimum. Damn.
Minimum. I think one lady I heard about walked out of there with 1.5.
Wow.
And now the place has become, well, over the years since I've quit there, the place has gone downhill. He still owns it. He's been in the news multiple times for his sexual deviancy.
Oh, God.
Right.
Yes. To the point where he's not allowed on the property anymore, which is funnier than hell because he lives on the property.
Oh, my God.
Till I think it was, my goodness, I would have to look up the article, so I'm not going to do that. But up until about 2 years ago, this hotel was being run into the ground by him.
Right.
And now, little side story. When I worked there, I was the guy who took care of the swimming pool.
Right.
Because I love going for swimming in that pool. Like in the middle of my shift, I'd be like, okay, tell the front desk, like, I'm going to jump in the pool. I'm, get a little exercise.
Right.
Well, after I quit there, the pool shut down because there was nobody there to look after it.
Right.
I don't know if it ever opened back up. But back to the future part. About 2 years ago, I saw in the news the place had shut down by the city for health code violations.
Oh, damn.
Now, over the years, the place became a cesspool for hookers, drug dealers, all kinds of crime.
Right.
And it was a place where the less fortunate would go to live because the rooms were cheap.
Right.
Right.
Well, some of the photos I had seen is like the place was so moldy, so much black mold everywhere. It was no place you want a human being to live. Like there were cockroaches, bugs, bed bugs everywhere. Until eventually, the city and the fire department around here shut them down for health code violations, and they have to fix it up. And there's no way the guy can afford to fix that entire hotel.
Right.
So it to me, it was friggin' funny karma. But it also kind of sucks to see that hotel go from something in its heyday, a glorious, nice little motel, to the cesspool it became that may actually be torn down and turned into a giant parking lot.
Oh, damn.
Jeez, man.
But yeah, it was kind of a glorious comeuppance to see how this guy just ran this hotel into the ground to the point where, yeah, it's going to be shut down.
Right. That's insane, though. Because I'm pretty sure you told that before, but not into as much detail.
Oh, yeah, no, I tried to stay away from as much detail as I could, because I had a feeling I'd be telling the story in full detail at some point in the future.
Right. Fair.
But anyway, Moda, got any other fancy stories for us?
Any other fancy stories? Let's see. Make sure your general manager, your area manager, does not sell drugs to the other general managers of your sister stores.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, it was kind of proven that the area manager of the Jimmy John's, because the Jimmy John's I worked at was a franchise, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're 100% sure he was selling drugs.
Damn.
And I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And the thing that really tipped us off was like if we were running out of bread like at night after we finished baking all the bread we had, we would call the area manager, be like, yo, do your job. So he would go to one of the sister stores, get some bread, and bring it over.
Right.
And when he came in, as a joke, I said, hey, you got the stuff? And this dude like froze.
Oh God.
Deer in the headlights and stared at me. He goes, what? And I'm like, I go, the bread. Like he did that freeze where like your feet go wide and your like body crouches a little bit, like you're about to start sprinting.
Oh God.
Like he just crouched at me and he goes, what? And when I told him that the bread, he stood up straight. He goes, oh yeah, I got it right here.
Jesus.
That's when my driver and I were like, yeah, he's definitely selling on the side.
Wow.
Oh, this dude was something else, though.
Damn.
He was a little flaky as well, not gonna lie. He was actually the reason why my general manager had walked out.
Oh.
Because basically our air conditioning sucked.
Right.
And we kept having to call someone. But that was the job of the area manager. Because he was like he like maintained, like if there was something wrong with the plumbing in like one of the bathrooms, he was the one that called the plumbing service.
Right.
If there was something that needed replaced, he would call the whatever company needed.
Right.
But our area manager just kept procrastinating on calling the AC, and eventually our general manager just called the AC people because we couldn't reach the area manager. You want to know why?
Why?
He decided to go on a cruise and not tell anyone.
Oh dear God.
Oh jeez.
So then when the area manager came back, he tore into my general manager about calling the AC guy because that was his job.
He wasn't doing it.
So anyway, I was just chilling at home on my day off, and I get a text message in the little like manager chat because I was an assistant manager then.
Right.
I got a text message in the chat in the manager group chat, and it was like, oh hey, by the way, I walked out. I'm like, oh, that took a while because you've been talking about it for a bit. I wasn't even surprised.
Yeah.
The best part though, a lot of the people were only there because the general manager was such a cool guy. So then after he left, a bunch of people started leaving.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me in the least. That actually happened at my current position, where I am.
Right. I actually got kind of lucky because Jimmy John's was the last job I had before I moved from Florida to Missouri.
Right.
Right.
So I was in the middle of looking for a new job. I didn't even have to bother because I was moving out of state. So I could have just said like, I had a good reason to just up and quit and then not do anything for a couple months.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what I did. And then something else happened.
Uh-oh.
Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the area manager, what he did because he did what any area manager would do. He hired a new general manager.
Of course.
Yeah, smart guy hired a general manager of a Papa John's for a sandwich shop.
Okay.
And was like, okay, off you go.
With no training whatsoever?
With a little bit of training, but like a little bit of training. It's like, okay, I get he was a manager of like a fast-ish food, like pizza. But at the same time, Jimmy John's and Papa John's are completely different companies.
Right.
The skill set isn't immediately going to transfer over. Yeah, he ended up leaving after a while.
Yeah, that makes tons of sense. I would have done the same thing.
And my best story about the area manager, I put in my 2-week notice, right?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Halfway through what was it? I think it was halfway through my first of my last 2 weeks, my first week of my last 2 weeks. He calls me over and he goes, "Hey, we don't need you to come in for the second half of your last week." And
Really?
I'm looking at it and I'm like, huh? Because here's the thing, I actually quit like a month and a half before I actually had to leave the state, just so I can have a week to my own. So
That's
I
fair.
calculated it so that my last day was at the end of a pay period. So my last week would be my last paycheck would be a full proper paycheck.
Right.
And then he goes, "Oh, by the way, you're not working the last like 3 days of your pay period."
What a dick.
So I left my 2 weeks early as per what he said.
Damn.
But yeah, I liked Jimmy John's. It was fun, but I would not go and work there again.
Sounds like a glowing recommendation.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say it's a good starting job.
Yeah.
But still.
Sounds like it was a much better starting job than Subway was.
Yeah, that wasn't even my first. That was, like I said, that wasn't my first job. My first job was at yogurt place.
Right.
The job I worked after that was really cool too.
Yeah.
After that, I worked at, it was basically like Subway, but better, and also not sandwiches. It was gyros or euros or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Churros?
No,
Not churros.
Zero.
Euros.
Mm.
It's a place called Gyroville.
Yeah, it's
it
great
was
food.
really cool. Yeah. I also found out when I was working there, a lot of people that worked there went to my high school.
Oh, fun.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of not like the same year I did, but like my high school was their high school.
Right.
So no, it was really cool. It was such a cool place. I really want to go back there to eat.
Oh, time to go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're only in the East Coast though.
But
like the lower East Coast, so like Florida and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Time to go for a drive.
But how? I don't know how.
No, don't worry. You're gonna have to get yourself
Or
some
a car.
driving.
Oh, a car. Yeah, I just steal my mom's car. Easy.
Right.
There you go.
I think he still needs a license though.
Meh. As long as they don't stop me, I'll be fine.
I mean, from some of the videos I've seen on YouTube, there are a lot of unlicensed drivers out there.
Oh, trust me. There was a. Okay, now let me go with Shade. You go.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll start off with something I kind of skipped off when I was talking about my Walmart job, right?
Right.
Let me explain how I got that job.
Oh boy.
Because boy, oh boy, I don't know how the fuck I got that job.
Right.
Truth be told, I yes, I was putting a bunch of applications out, but also my family was for me as well, just to get as many as possible out there, right?
Right.
So I get a call, and of course, I don't have a job at the moment, so I'm kind of sleeping however long I want, staying as long as I wait. So it was probably like middle of the day. So I woke up from sleeping.
Right.
To a phone call.
Oh boy.
I pick up this phone, drowsy as hell, and I hear, "Hi, yes, is this so and so? We're calling for the bike assembler position that you applied for."
All right.
My first words to my boss was, "Huh?" Followed by, "What?"
Oh jeez.
Oh no.
And then I was like, "Oh shit, they're calling me about a job. I just need to play along." "Yeah, yes. Sorry, I was busy. I was unfocused. I'm listening now. Sorry." What the fuck? And like, we're wondering if you could come in during this time for an interview. We'll have you come in, do a quick interview and all that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I can be there. So I go in, and normally there's 2 interviews apparently for this. You have the interview with the one person, and their boss. There was supposed to be like kind of another interview kind of thing. They kind of skipped over that second one. They were very informal about it. They were like, "Yeah, we already asked them all the questions." Like they were basically near the same room, so like, yeah, like I asked them all the questions. It's fine, whatever. This is the person I need, or we'll go with it. I'm like, okay, but the first couple of questions. Let me just point this out: bike assembly job. Let me just remind you this: bike assembly job. And then let me also put this other piece of information. I don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't?
You don't?
I've never ridden a bike. I don't like bikes. I've never attempted it. Actually, I have. I crashed into a tree. But
I mean, who hasn't?
A very shade thing to do.
I was pushed down a hill on a bike, and for
Classic.
some reason we decided to go. There's a wide open fucking field. Let's go down the part of the hill that has a tree in front of it.
I'm reminded of a song.
But
oh boy, that's funny though.
That's my experience with bikes, right? So they ask me, for, what kind of like prior experiences you have, right? I'm like, well, I know how to use tools. I worked at an auto. I didn't work in an auto. I said I took an auto class, Auto 1.
Right.
So I learned how to use tools. That was my answer to that question, by the way. And they're like, okay. I mean, like, are you willing to learn? And I'm like, but like anything you need to know. I'm like, oh yeah, 100%. Of course. But just teach me whatever I need to know. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. All right, let me just we'll just kind of go over to this my manager now. We'll just make since they're literally right here. We're like, okay, here's the questions I asked. They said this. We're good. They're like, okay, you can come into orientation during next week.
Right.
Now, I didn't realize orientation was the you're hired. Like I was hired. That was them telling me I got the job.
Yeah.
I thought orientation, you go there, they weed out the people they don't want. No.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah. No, I went in and I went to this whole orientation with the personnel manager. And I got my paperwork. They're like, okay, so here's this. Here's your, this is what you'll get paid for coming in this day. And then, just, all this stuff, just fill all this paperwork, sign here. And then for the, we don't have enough time for you guys to really do anything. You just watch some videos here and then go. And then I got home, like, so I got these papers. I don't know, like, what does this mean? Like, you got the job. Like that's like, because I went to my family with this papers. I was like, yeah, I have this paperwork. I don't know what any of this means. Like, yeah, this was them giving you your job. You're hired.
Right.
I'm like, really? Why? What person had listened to me answer the questions about bike assembly and thought, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about? Never ridden a bike in his life. Only experience with tools is took an auto class once. Yeah, this is the guy we need building our bikes. But yeah, so I got the job. Huzzah, right? And then, of course, I got paid for being there for the orientation, unlike Modus bullshit.
Yeah.
Followed by the rest of the time where we sat in the back watching videos, we got paid for that as well. And then there was one point where they then also sent me out and like, okay, there's not enough time to do any more training. Just go out and keep clean Easter. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, Easter, like...
Yeah, just the Easter department.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, sure. Easter department.
All we had to, well, it's seasonal department. It changes depending on what season it's, right? So it's basically sit there and pick up a whole bunch of wooden baskets that kids knock over all damn day. Granted, it was only for like an hour or so. But yeah, no. So that's how I got into the job, right?
Right.
Glowing recommendation. Truly a mastermind.
The best
of course.
recommendations.
And of course, this entire time, by the way, I technically had another job lined up, sort of. I had two meetings going on. I had another meeting at another place that was about an hour away called, like, Sugar. It was just a candy store.
Right.
In an outdoor mall kind of thing next to a movie theater. Kind of glad I didn't do that because I would have been on register all day, and I hate the register with a passion. But anyway.
Right.
But that place liked me because they had asked me for a second interview. Walmart beat them to it though. They cleared first and second interview. But anyway,
they did the first and second interview in one shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, that's how I got there. After that, I worked with. There was two bike assemblers at that time besides me. One of them was nighttime. He only came in. He did his bikes on that. He was an old timer. He was really fucking fast. And the other one, which was kind of became like my mentor for like my entire time there, sort of.
Right.
And so I got to work building bikes and all that stuff. That was kind of fun. I had no idea. Like the best part is when I had to go out there, and I was bringing out bikes I completed building, and I put it on the rack and all that stuff, and I could ask questions about a bike. I'm like, all right. Time to bullshit this. Because they're like, so what type of bike is really good if you want to like ride back to like ride to school and like for like the roads? I'm like, well, we have mountain bikes here. Those are really good for riding on trails in the mountains. And this here's a cruiser bike. It's good for cruising on the road,
Oh my god.
You don't want to get your little baskets with it. It's got those weird it got these like long handlebars stick out more to the side. It's really good cruising. Probably wouldn't go with it for getting to work on time though. And honestly though, I think just because we are our state, dealing with the spikes, I'm gonna have to tell you, I would probably recommend a good mountain bike here.
Right.
And that should help you because, you know, we got those little like board things that I don't remember the name of them, but they're like little spikes, spurs or whatever.
Right.
And that should be good. They're like, oh, thank you so much. Guy comes back like a week later. He's like, oh, thank you so much for helping me figure out what bike it's working great. I'm like, thank God, because I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. I was making shit up the entire time.
I don't know about you, Moda, but I'd buy a bike from Shane.
I would too.
Well, then the best part, of course, so I, you know, obviously because boards are still a problem here. I mean, like, is there like special tubes I should buy? So I'm like, okay, all right, tubes. So over here, we got these tubes here, the normal tubes that got, you know, you put air in them. And then this one here, though, the plastic is thicker, so that's really nice. But you know, those can still get holes in them. But we got these other ones here. They got slime in them. They'll help. So if like it gets poked, slime will stop your tire from deflating completely.
Yes, the slime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely slime.
I did not like talking to people. I'm so glad most of my job was staying away from that and just taking the completed bikes out. Although, man, oh man, I think that was the most times I've been injured until up to that point because I dropped a bike on my head because.
Oh.
Now, granted, this is because when you're building it, you put on this little like clamp thing, right? Clamps in the center of the bike.
Yeah.
If the bike is abnormal, and by that I just mean it doesn't have like the bar isn't perfect. It's like special. It's formed specially because they want to make the bike look cool. And so therefore the grip can't grip the bike perfectly enough. It's possible for it just to fall off the grip.
Right.
Oh no.
And since I have it up, kind of like lifted up, I had to put the pedals on, the wheel on, fill up the air and all that stuff, get the handlebars on, get all that stuff good. And I always double check my work because I actually still judge bikes when I go to stores. When I go and I mess with the grip, I'm like, this is shit. Who the hell built this? They're gonna kill a kid with this. But because we would always joke like, you know, if a bike comes out, we're gonna kill poor little Jimmy or Jesse.
Because oh darn, poor little Jesse.
But yeah, so as I was doing that, one of the pedals. Sometimes they have a weird groove, like a weird screwing to it. I don't know what the wording's for it, but it screws in, right? And sometimes it's a little messed up. Sometimes it comes in the box. It's got deformed from the heat. It's Arizona. It's hot as shit. Everything gets deformed. Everything dies here from sunlight. Okay.
Of course.
So I twisted it and I used the pedal wrench and it popped and it fell underneath it. And so I leaned down to get it, right? And the bike popped off the grip and fell right on top of me.
Oh.
And it wasn't a small bike. I think it was like one of those 700cc bikes or whatever.
Right.
One of those really big ones and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that hurt. Then other times, like the pedals, I mean, not the pedals, but the chain would get messed up and you have to get your fingers in there and fix the chain.
Right.
Oh, I know where this is going.
I've actually never had it as bad. I got mostly pinches, like nothing really bad. I had a friend that did destroy their finger and went to that to a chain for it. But I've never had that problem. But it was like, it would normally, like my hand might get trapped by a chain. It would pinch it pretty hard and hurt like hell.
Oh.
Or in other cases, we turned the pedal bar and the bike would slip and you would end up hitting yourself in the face with the pedal bar, you know, depending on how you're doing it.
Right.
Because we worked in a very small, crappy area.
Gotcha.
At one point, in the back rooms, I'm not sure if you guys ever seen a back room of a retail store.
Not at Walmart, but I have it at others. Yes.
I've seen those, the back of a Target.
You know those steel things they put freight on, right? Or like the merchandise.
Yeah.
We worked in like the first place we worked when I started there was between two of those in a corner. Like people would sometimes have to come into our area and grab merchandise while we're standing there with a shit ton of bikes in this one small little. It was like working in a hallway that you could touch both sides of the hallway with your hands and take 5 steps and be out of the hallway, and that was my work spot.
Oh my god!
But eventually we did move to a bigger open area, but of course it was also the most busiest one, so we always had people going through. But yeah, so that was the bike stuff. But granted, as bike assembler also just means assembler, so I also got to build the furniture. I got to build those electric vehicles. Right. I got to build the displays.
Fun.
And put them up. And it was good fun, except for the fact, of course, that Walmart is, likes to put stuff high up. Luckily, of course, I worked with the other bike assembler all the time. So, right, he was the one that normally went up. I also go up, but there's this totally probably broke some kind of actual violation, but at one point we got on the scissor lift that was it has these flaps on the bottom that's supposed to keep it stable, right? The scissor lift might have been a little bit messed up, and so they wouldn't drop properly. So they didn't keep the weight on the bottom, like stabilizing it. Sure, but we had to both go up. Normally you have someone on the bottom. So we're going up. And before, I would just kick the flaps and they'd fall back down. It'd be fine. But of course, we're both up there now. And all of a sudden, we're at the very top. And I hear the warning sign here saying that the flaps aren't down. But we kept doing our job. We just kept working. Of course, though, him knowing I'm afraid of heights, grabs the bars to it and starts shaking it back and forth.
Oh, that dick.
Right?
I didn't hate him, though. We were still friends, but he's an ass.
Right.
He's still an ass. It doesn't change that. He's an ass.
That doesn't change that he's an asshole.
Exactly. But no, it also meant, though, I gotta build grills. Grills are kind of fun.
Nice.
But also dangerous for your fingers specifically. I've crushed my fingers so many times because a lot of times with an assembler, they don't have both assemblers at all times. So sometimes they work once. Granted, some of those things says works best with 2 people because they're heavy as fuck.
Right.
And you have to hold certain things up while trying to screw it in, which doesn't work so great when you're doing it by yourself. So you're sitting there with like the bolts in one hand with the screwdriver in one hand while holding the entire thing together with one arm and your 2 legs. And so yeah, that was good fun. I've had my mistakes in those grills. I built one backwards.
Okay.
Luckily, it wasn't anything. Listen, it's one of those. Okay, it's one of those really cheap ones. Okay, it's got 3 legs. Looks like a bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
All I did is that I put the top handle on wrong, so when it sat, the handle was facing the wrong direction compared to the side that has a wheel. So you couldn't really use the handle to hold the thing down while moving it. But it's fine.
Gotcha.
It's fine. Nobody gives a fuck, okay? You can remove the hatch thing just fine. But I got the most shit from everyone for it.
Yeah, I could see why, though.
Yeah, a lot of places just want you to do it perfectly.
Well,
okay, if you don't do it perfectly, you get yelled at.
I didn't really get in trouble for it. It was actually just they were joking with me for like ever.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's something they would never let you live down.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like it at one point it stayed there forever to like the end of the season. And like, oh hey, there it is. There's your grill. I'm like, God damn it, motherfuckers. I'm like, did you guys drop it already, please?
No, never.
It's like, okay, you can drop it now.
Yeah. But yeah, I never lived that down. That was good fun. But I still say it was the best during the assembler. I did eventually, of course, having to be moved from there. And that's because they decided they only wanted to have two bike assemblers. They want to keep the professional one and the one that was becoming a mentor, right?
Right.
So they're like, all right, here's the deal. We don't want to lose you because you're a good worker, right? And you do some good assembly stuff and projects, or you do really good on your projects. We're going to make you garden center.
Oh, no.
But you'll probably still build bikes every once in a while. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that, whatever. I don't have to use the register, right? You're like, no, you're fine. Cool. And I just to clarify, I just mentioned that because that was just one thing I didn't want to do. I never actually ever had to use the register except for one time. And I'll explain that later. But
right.
Yeah, so I became that, and also it was great though because not long after the older bike assembler kind of left, so they only had one in the end. But I was there, so I took care of Garden Center, where I still helped with projects mostly. I was more like, because I was known as one of the project people with the other one, I wasn't in my department ever, really.
Right.
Which is good. Because there was a Garden Center associate, elderly man, Hispanic, didn't speak could speak English, but he didn't want to, so he pretended like he couldn't speak English.
Oh, I love
the classic.
Yeah, so
that's when you bust out your Spanish.
I don't have Spanish.
Oh, well, okay.
That caused some problems later for me because I got injured because of it at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, but no, he was one of those people that was kind of like a problem worker because he would disappear, but he was there for so long that no one did anything about him.
Right.
Mainly, what he did is he stayed outside in the out part of the garden center and just watered the plants all day.
Oh, fun.
To the point of overwatering them.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And they all died?
No, they lived, sort of. It was good fun. I mean, to be fair, though, it's better than what I would have had, where I probably would have killed them all, because we all know my history of plant care.
Yeah, you mentioned...
Kill bamboo.
You have a black thumb.
I do.
You probably kill cactus, and you live in the state of cacti.
Yeah. I probably could, actually. So... But yes, that's how that worked.
Bye.
But it was good for a while there. Honestly, it was pretty good. I had good managers for a while, good store lead for the time. And it didn't really start going downhill till manager got changed.
Oh, what always happened.
Yeah, that's usually what always happens.
What happened at Jimmy John's?
Exactly. And so what ended up happening there, we got a new manager, she came in, and she was extremely crabby for no reason.
Oh, I love those people.
Like, there was times I had to I had to build some bikes, obviously, to keep up with Christmas demand. Bikes buildings increases during that time. Sell a lot. Right. And so the problem, of course, though, there's only so much you can put out. Right?
Right.
So what ended up happening is that I built a whole bunch. We filled a garden center. And we filled the bike rack. And I'm walking back past her with all these bikes. She's like, "Where are you going with those?" I'm like, we're full. We're just gonna go set them in the back, in a nice clean up, the organized manner." Like, "We'll make sure that happens." I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
I'm literally known for making sure I keep my things clean and organized and not a mess. And I'm like, it was constant with her, with all that kind of thing. There'd be times where we had to get the Christmas freight out, right? And we'd fill all that stuff up, filled all the homes completely. The only way we could fill it up anymore is if we start plugging, which is when you just throw stuff in places it doesn't belong. Big no-no.
Right.
Right.
So we walk back with a power, and once again, it's like, oh, where's that going? Oh, we're taking this middle stock room. We got to put it back into the bins. Like, what? Why? I'm like, because there's no home for it, and we're not allowed to plug it. But of course, I had to hold that back because, store manager.
Right. Naturally.
Of course.
That was fun. And then skipping ahead a little bit more, just there's obviously a little bit more, but I'm gonna skip closer to where I decided to quit. This is around COVID time. Obviously,
right.
You guys were there when I eventually quit. So
I remember.
Sure, was I a mod at that point?
I don't think so.
You were.
Really?
Was he?
I don't think so.
I might have just started as a mod.
You know what? Yes.
But I don't think we were friends yet.
Yeah, we were just kind of fellow mods at the time.
Yeah.
But no, so at that point, it's gotten to the point I'm still known as the really hard worker person, obviously. So I get a lot of projects. I'm going all over the store. At that point, what I'm doing is I'm going through handling garden center returns. I'm handling toys returns. I'm handling housewares returns. I'm handling grocery returns. I'm cleaning my area. I'm setting up all the garden center stuff constantly. I'm dealing with all the freight for my department and for toys. I'm also doing the freight for housewares and furniture. I'm constantly dealing with all that stuff. I'm going to apparel and cleaning up there.
They're just yanking you all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm also going into the freezers, and if someone's not there, they're filling back up the milk that's low. And then of course, because we have that pick up today stuff, I'm also getting pulled to go for like an hour, handle with finding stuff throughout the store really quickly and getting it over there to then be organized and sent out to the customers when they pull up in their cars. And
oh, jeez.
While also trying to keep my department manager happy because we have like 20 pallets of stuff. So it's ridiculous.
Right.
And of course, there's me and the elderly, I don't want to say his name, but we'll call him George.
Okay.
George. And so he's the one that's, constantly disappearing half the time. And also, I'm pushing carts for hours because we have no cart pushers during the week. And
joy.
So, I'm trying to get all these things done. And I'm stressed. I'm my body's pretty much falling apart at this point, and I'm exhausted all the time. I'm always out in the heat, which is 100 and something temperatures. I'm actually pretty sure my body is definitely a bit messed up from that.
Oh yeah, no, that would happen in a physical job like that.
Yeah.
I definitely have some problems now because of the heat. I think. From being out of it so often and almost passing out a lot of times.
Nah.
Yeah. But so all that, right?
Right.
And then this is where I finally was done. The entire time I've worked there, 5 years, I was making $15.45.
Right.
Every single person, even those that are just starting out. Oh, no, sorry. Correction, I forgot. Wasn't 15. I was making $13.45.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
I was thinking about the what I started out with at the newer job when I was contractor. But no, $13.45 was what I was making after 5 years, and I started at $10.
Right.
Grant, that was after they bumped everyone up. Then, like literally, when I started at $10, they then bumped it up to like $12, right? So in 5 years, really, I only went up $1.45.
Okay.
Every person, even those that started before me, and everyone that was every single person that started in the pick up today center made $15.
Oh.
Cashiers made $15. Everyone that worked around me was making more than me as well.
The hell?
And I was doing every one of their jobs. Even, this is the other part, there'd be also be times where we had to count like all the stuff we had. And we had to go back and we had to scan everything and we had to mark it off on our paper. Technically department manager work, right?
Right.
Also doing that.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
So obviously I had enough. And that's when I quit.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah. And like that's me shorting everything down because I know we're probably, we don't want to be here all day. Walmart was a long 5 years, let me tell you.
Sounds like it.
I'm sure I can go back and tell other stories. I'll be honest. There's still like multiple Black Fridays I could tell you. Thanksgiving stories I could tell. The Christmas stories I could tell. We'd be here all day. So look out for podcast Jobs Part 2.
That's
Shade's experiences with Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a whole thing, just Walmart.
Just 2.5 hours of Walmart.
Yeah. At least 2.5 hours. Another Walmart stories. I'd be down.
Yep. But after that, the new job I got, I was like, okay, I need to find something. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to get out of this. I'm done. I just can't handle this anymore. I was like losing. I was practically running on energy drinks. In fact, I remember one Christmas when I was like, for finals, I was literally awake all night and all day. And when I got tired, I would just pop open an energy drink and drink that instead.
Oh boy. That doesn't sound too healthy.
Oh no, it let's just say I really felt that one for a while.
I bet.
I was not. I think there might have been a couple times it might have been sometimes when I was like, because obviously I was auditing around that time, so it was probably noticeable during some of those times. But
you just continuously passing out at your desk.
Oh yeah, that was probably one part of it at that point. But yeah, no, it was exhausting. But then I got the new job, which thankfully I had a family member that was like, hey, this is contracting work, but because I know you, I know the person that's hiring for it, I can put a word in for you to get you in there. After that, of course, it's up to me. And I mean, like by me, like me personally, I had to make sure I put in the work. And you're like, this is a good opportunity, but of course, the family member is kind of high up, senior management, not too far away. I mean, technically, the amount of roles between them and the CEO is very few. They're like, you also need to be serious about this because I'm putting my name on this recommendation to this person. Now, granted, not all of them. There's just mainly the people that are hiring and all that stuff and people that have to know.
Right.
And like, so these are people I know. Don't fuck this up.
Right.
Right.
No
but
pressure.
Like, yeah. But they're like, the starting pay ended up being like $16.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, I'm already skipping a shit ton. And I'm like, awesome. So I did that. Ended up luckily becoming very, very liked. And I was converted. And then I make it like $19.
Right.
So hell yeah. Much better than $13.45 for a whole couple of years.
Yeah, so much better.
No kidding. No kidding. Wow.
But yeah, that is the shortened chapter of Walmart. But there is so many more.
Yeah, I bet. I was gonna say that's part of the reason why I'm glad I never got into retail.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I got stuck in food service for a couple of years, which I equally don't recommend.
Yeah. Food service is just as hard on the body.
Yeah, especially depending a lot. Because I worked at 2 production bakeries, which were essentially factories that produced food.
Right.
And yeah, that was rough. And that's why a lot of times, I don't know if you two were there for this, but there was one time I came home from work and streamed. I used to stream after work.
Yep.
There was one time, there were a few times I actually ended like 2 hours in because I was just too tired to keep going. There was one time when I went to BRB to get up and stretch. And you've seen my chair. I sit in like a reclining, comfy chair.
Right.
Yeah.
I pushed the back so that the footrest came out, and I stretched in my chair. As I was stretching, I fell asleep.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I passed out in the middle of the stretch, and I was on BRB for half an hour.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You know what, though?
What? I was going to say, I woke up and I turned back on my mic, and I'm like, so I fell asleep.
I mean, I was going to say, I fully believe that.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a
couple
you
of
thing.
episodes ago, you fell asleep in the middle of a podcast. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, that was also me coming home from work.
Yep.
And I think that's why I have yet to find a decent time for me to start streaming again. It's trying to find a time when I can when I'm not exhausted after work.
Right.
Yeah. I'm actually coming up with a new stream schedule so I can get back to streaming regularly.
Right.
I think I figured one out. But it's gonna be good. Though. I'm basically just I would say I'm pulling a shade, but I'm not this time.
Okay. I'm
actually doing something similar to what one of my good friend does. Good friends. He only streams on his weekends, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do that.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, I get that.
So then I have my weekdays after I come up from work. If I felt like it, I could stream.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just have free time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also good. Streaming life balance.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, that's also very important. Damien, heads up.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. That's like I said, that's why I'm trying to find a time when I'm not bloody exhausted. And with how busy it's been recently because of weddings being that time of the bloody year.
Yes.
I'm so glad I'm not there on Saturday. But it's just that time of the year where business is picked up. Finally, people can go out because we're pretty much 100% open where I am.
Okay.
We're pretty much open here as well, even though I'll be honest, we really should not be. We're picking it back up.
No, we shouldn't.
We really shouldn't be.
We're getting worse here, actually. It's not good.
Oh, well, that's one of the things I've noticed is they're hiding the numbers now.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
So, but yes, no, we shouldn't be open, but we are. And of course, people are going out celebrating. So my work has gotten busier with weddings. I think we've got like 3 of them on Saturday. And hence why I said, thank God I'm off for 4 days after tomorrow.
Right.
And plus, with where I live, we've also got fires going on up north.
Oh, joy.
So we've got refugees from that coming in to the hotel.
Right.
So it's been a busy week. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between my duties as a chef and washing dishes. So yeah, that's fun.
Right. I bet it sounds fun. A lot of fun. I will say I am enjoying what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I asked you that question. What was it, yesterday? Because I'm actually looking into something similar.
Right. I'm pretty sure I can just say it because it doesn't matter. It's a security guard.
Oh yeah, I know. It's being a security guard. I just wasn't sure if you could mention it or not.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm sure it was in some of the paperwork I was supposed to read.
I mean, like in the end, if you just keep like names.
Yeah,
right.
You keep names to the minimum.
That's a common enough job. I'm now a security guard at a casino.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It's like like anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying like, oh, I work at the Hard Rock. Oops. No, I don't.
Okay, so now we know he works at the Hard Rock. Gotcha.
Now, how cool would that be at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino?
Right.
I don't know if y'all ever been to a Hard Rock, but it's amazing.
I have not.
Think
up here.
Lame. Hard Rock is it's a casino franchise spread all over the world. There's like some in France and Tokyo. It's basically a music museum.
See, when I think Hard Rock, I think the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, that's also one.
Ah.
The Hard Rock Cafe. I'm pretty sure they're the same. I know they have music memorabilia from throughout the years, and it's all on display.
Interesting.
And I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, that's good. It's always good to be able to enjoy your job.
The Hard Rock Cafe, yeah, that's exactly the same place. It's just like, I guess it's a restaurant version of the casino. Because I know it as a casino.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah. It's nice. It's so good to be out of food service. I'm so happy that I'm not touching food. Anyway.
No, probably should.
Yeah.
I was gonna say probably should say some final words on the topic of jobs. I'm sure we can probably also revisit it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
to say that too. I was gonna say, like, do we have anything else to finish up talking about?
Nope, I believe I am good.
I think the only thing I can really say, just as a random side note about Walmart, is if you ask for a tree during Christmas time, there's a good chance if they tell you they don't have it, that they do, but it's in a outside storage bin that management has the key to, and management told that worker that they don't want to go out there right now.
Right.
Jeez.
And so they'll tell the employee, just tell them we don't have the tree. So
I mean, Walmart isn't the first place I would think of to get a tree, but okay.
It's like just an old fake tree, but yeah. That's
fake tree. Gotcha.
Yeah, fake tree.
I thought you meant a real tree. I'm like, I'd go to Home Depot first.
Yeah, no, like most of the time it's because management has keys. They're the only ones that are allowed out there to open up the trailers, and they have to be out there with the associate to get this tree, and they don't want to go out there and open like 5 trailers to find one tree, so they'll say no.
Right. Fair enough.
They're like, we'll probably get some in a truck, and we'll get, check back again tomorrow when we've opened those trailers to start working them again in the morning.
Fair enough. Just avoid the work. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Technically, there's like a stopping point to work on freight work.
Right.
So if it's past that time, they're not going to have us touch anything back there.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's where I'll end that with. Last teaser of the chapter of Walmart bullshit. All right. Well, I guess we should do our wrap up now. Moda, want to start off?
All right. I, again, am Motorbor. You can find me at Motorbor1963 on Twitter and just Motorbor on Twitch.
And I'm Damien. You can find me on Twitter at storm_Damien and soon on twitch.tv/Damien_Storm.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Now, there's me. You can find me here on Twitch at Shade Darkfire. Well, it's Shade_Darkfire_. There you go. Or on Twitter, it's just Shade Darkfire, no space. Right. So yeah, that's where you can find me there. Other than that, we do have a podcast. We have a Discord for this podcast. You can always check that out. I'm sure the link is, if it's on YouTube, there should be a link somewhere in the description. And Moto, is there links in any of the Spotify stuff?
Oh, I always put links into Spotify. I put our Twitters, our Twitches, and JT stuff.
Got it. Okay, cool. So there's the Discord links in there?
No.
All right, well, let's add that.
I'll fix it.
Let's add that. So then you guys can also, if you're listening to Spotify right now, you can join that as well.
Yes. Okay.
I love the hesitation. No.
I don't remember what the
Discord. Yes.
Listen, I don't remember the. For those on,
it's your channel.
This is a recent created command. Get off my back. Anyway,
you should remember it right off the bat.
Listen. I don't need your shenanigans.
Okay. Okay. Let me correct myself. I put our Twitters on the podcast on Spotify because our Twitters also have our Twitch channels.
I'll do this. I think that works.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Am I stupid?
Anyway.
That's a question best left not answered.
Yeah, so this is how. Oh, is it on there?
No, it's on there. I'm at it. Okay, now I'll fix it. I'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so yes, that has been this podcast of the topic of jobs and past experiences and all that. I'm sure there's a chance we'll have to revisit this. Maybe. Possibly. Yes. Maybe we might even invite someone. I don't know.
Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. As our first, that'll be our first topic with a guest. It's like, so tell us about your job history.
Tell us about all the horrible experiences you had.
No, that's how we interview like a tech person. Like,
dear.
Oh no, social media. That's how we hire a social media manager. We bring them on the podcast and just interview them
interviewed live on podcast.
So what's your worst job experience? It's not us yet, right?
Oh my god.
We weren't yet.
Anyway.
Not stress that enough.
Of course, always you can always find us. You can find us on Twitter as well. Is the Insomniac podcast on there? Just search Insomniac Views.
Yes.
There you go. And yeah, thank you everybody for that was been listening today. Yeah, hopefully we should have keep checking on the socials. We'll keep everybody updated on the next podcast episode.
Yes.
But yes, thank you everybody and have a good night.
Yes,
have a wonderful night, everyone.